Nearly 80% of fans believed that Vinicius Jr. would win the Ballon d'Or last year, until the ceremony started, but in the end, Rodri won the award. This year, there is also no clear favorite for the Ballon d'Or. Dembele, Raphinha, Lamin, Mbappe and even Donaruma are being included in this year's list of favorites. In today's video, we'll talk about who will win the Ballon d'Or in 2025. The season is almost finished and the only Champions League final remains ahead. Our list today could change based on the results of the Champions League final. Before we start, please subscribe to the channel and like the video. This is 90 Football, let's get started. Kylian Mbappe. Despite Real Madrid's unsuccessful season, Kylian Mbappe individually showed himself well. At the beginning of the season, Mbappe faced huge hate for his unsuccessful performance. But in the 2025, Mbappe was able to regain his good form. At the start of the season, first, there were 8 offsides in El Clasico. Then, an unsuccessful penalty against Liverpool, and massive pressure fell onto Kylian. But since the match against Manchester City in the Champions League, Kylian has been playing at the expected level. First, he scored a hat-trick against Pep's team, then several successful matches, and recently another hat-trick against Barcelona in El Clasico match. The main reason why Mbappe is in the 10th place on our list is because of Real Madrid's unsuccessful season. Mbappe even broke Cristiano Ronaldo's record of goals scored in his first season at Real Madrid, and is currently leading in the La Liga's top scorer list. If Real Madrid had won the Champions League, Mbappe would at least be in top 3 contenders for the Ballon d'Or. Unfortunately for now, he remains in the 10th place. Robert Lewandowski. In 9th place is Robert Lewandowski, who will soon turn 37. Lewandowski had not shown his old form since leaving Bayern Munich, until Hansi Flick joined Barcelona. Robert started this season very confidently. First, he scored 2 goals in El Clasico at the Santiago Bernabeu, and we can say that exactly Robert Lewandowski's goals decided the outcome of the match. Later, he played very well in La Liga and the Champions League. So far, Lewandowski has scored 40 goals and made 3 assists in 49 matches. Considering his age, these statistics are very good for Robert. On the other hand, Lewandowski also misses many chances. Even in that October Clasico, he could have scored 4 goals, but he missed one clear tap-in and another good opportunity. Anyways, we can say that this season was successful for Lewandowski. Even if Barcelona had won the treble, Robert probably wouldn't win the Ballon d'Or this year. Lautaro Martinez. The only Inter Milan player on this list is Lautaro Martinez. Currently, his statistics are not as bright as Lewandowski's or Mbappe's, but Inter has a chance to win the Champions League at the end of the season, and this will play a big role in the voting process. So far, Lautaro has played 48 matches for Inter this season, scoring 22 goals and making 7 assists. Of course, these statistics are not enough for the Ballon d'Or, but Inter's playing style is defensive and they rarely attack. However, the trophies he wins with this team could greatly increase Lautaro's chances for this award. The Argentine player has shown himself well in big matches, especially this season when he scored 2 goals in 2 matches against Bayern Munich, leading Inter to the semi-finals. Also in the second leg semi-final against Barcelona, he first scored a goal in the 21st minute and then earned a very important penalty for his team. Whatever happens, we need to wait for the Champions League final and the end of the Serie A to answer whether Lautaro can win the Ballon d'Or or not. Raphinha. In the 7th place is Raphinha, who currently is underrated not only at PSG but also across Europe. Now it is impossible to imagine the Paris Saint-Germain midfield without Raphinha. The player is showing very big progress under Luis Enrique, and if he continues achieving success with his team, he might even enter the top 3 by the end of the season. The former Wolverhampton player has become the heart of PSG's midfield under Luis Enrique. PSG have beaten Liverpool, Aston Villa and Arsenal in the Champions League and reached the final. The Farmers League club continues sending top teams from the strongest league home, and one of the main reasons for this is Raphinha's hard work. Today's list will include many PSG players, and if the team wins the treble at the end of the season, exactly one of these team's players should win the Ballon d'Or, especially Raphinha. Mohamed Salah. In August, there were many rumors saying that Mohamed Salah was spending his last season at Liverpool, and that next year he might move to another top European club or to Saudi Arabia. But Mohamed showed such confident performance until January that he was considered the main candidate for the Ballon d'Or. At that time, Liverpool competed for 4 trophies at once, but in the end they managed to win only the Premier League. Salah's individual statistics are also incredible: 50 matches, 33 goals and 23 assists. Undoubtedly, we are seeing one of the most productive seasons in Salah's career, but this alone is not enough to win the Ballon d'Or. At least if Egyptian player had reached the Champions League semi-finals with Liverpool, he could have easily considered among the top 3 or even the main candidate. Unfortunately for now, it's the only 6th place. Luigi Donnarumma. We've reached the top 5 and we start with Luigi Donnarumma. If he wins the Ballon d'Or at the end of the season, I wouldn't be surprised, but at least he must win the Leviathan Trophy, because Donnarumma is playing incredibly in the Champions League. Even in the match against Liverpool, many experts gave a higher chance to the Merseyside, but PSG advanced to the next stage exactly because of Donnarumma's important saves. Also in the quarterfinal, Unai Emery's team almost made an unexpected comeback, but in the last minute again, Donnarumma's saves carried PSG to the semi-finals. Maybe Donnarumma is not showing himself as strongly in the League One as in the Champions League, but exactly in big matches when his team needs help, Gianluigi wakes up and takes PSG out of difficult situations. Pedri. Personally, until Hansi Flick came to Barcelona, I can't remember Pedri playing at this top level for such long time. Regular injuries, getting tired during the matches, and muscle problems kept Pedri Gonzalez away from this award. I don't know what Mr. Flick did to him, but currently the most important player at the Barcelona is Pedri. I'm saying this with respect to Raphinha and Lamin Yamal. It is impossible to imagine Flick's current Barcelona without Pedri. Yes, his statistics might not be very productive, just 6 goals and 8 assists, but in terms of creating big chances, making key passes, destroying the rival pressure, and accurately bringing the ball from the defense to the attack, Pedri is probably one of the best players in the world right now. Pedri Gonzalez has made 61 key passes in just 34 La Liga matches so far. That means more than 2 key passes during the game. There's a reason why Flick, Raphinha and other teammates at Barcelona are highlighting him as a top contender for the Ballon d'Or this season. Lamin Yamal. Before starting the top 3, I'll remind you that the odds of these last 3 footballers winning the Ballon d'Or are almost the same. Now, let's return to Yamal. Despite being just 17 years old, Lamin Yamal has undoubtedly already made history at Barcelona. Lamin Yamal mostly shows himself in big matches. Even in the semi-final against Inter, this wonder kid did everything possible to help Barcelona reach the final. But because of lack of experience and injuries of some players, Yamal's efforts were not enough. This season he has 52 matches, 16 goals and 24 assists, and all of this at just 17 years old. La Liga's leading assist provider, he has more than 100 successful dribbles and created too many big chances. In El Clasicos, Yamal is showing a completely different level. 3 goals and 2 assists in the last 4 Clásicos. His goal in the Super Cup final was simply fantastic. He left half of Real Madrid's team behind, beating the Thibaut Courtois in Messi's style. Although Yamal is just 17, his value on the transfer market has already passed 180 million euros, and it may even reach 200 million euros in the next update. There are only a few months left until the Ballon d'Or ceremony, and if Lamin Yamal performs well in the Nations League, he could very likely win the Ballon d'Or. But it would be very interesting to see how winning the Ballon d'Or this early might affect Yamal's career. Ousmane Dembele. In second place is the best player of 2025, Ousmane Dembele. Since Luis Enrique joined the team, Ousmane has rediscovered himself. Moving to the false 9 position, he has played 46 matches this season, scoring 33 goals and making 13 assists. Dembele participated in goals against Liverpool and Arsenal, helping PSG reach the Champions League final. He is also the top scorer in League One, has 8 goals and 4 assists in the Champions League, and is already a French champion. Nearly a treble winner. However, in my personal opinion, giving Dembele the Ballon d'Or would be a mistake. Now, I'm gonna explain it. Firstly, Dembele has only been playing confidently since January. Before that, nobody was even talking about him winning the Ballon d'Or. Secondly, the French league is considered weaker compared to Premier League, La Liga, Serie A and even the Bundesliga. Just notice this, in the last 15 years, PSG won the League One titles 13 times, an extreme level of domination. Additionally, Dembele wasted many chances. That's exactly why he's the top scorer in the French league, but doesn't even enter the top 5 in the Champions League. Of course, if PSG wins the Champions League and achieves the treble and Dembele plays very well in the final and France also wins the Nations League, then he would undoubtedly deserve the Ballon d'Or. Raphinha. In first place is Raphinha Belloli, who faced huge pressure and hate last season. When he first joined Barcelona from Leeds, he had an average first season, 50 matches, 10 goals and 12 assists. In the next season he had 10 goals and 13 assists. This summer during the Euro 2024, because of Nico Williams' great performance, Raphinha nearly left the club, but after Hansi Flick joined, Raphinha is having the best season of his career. So far this season he has played in 54 matches, scoring 34 goals and making 25 assists. He has won La Liga, Copa del Rey and the Spanish Super Cup, and he is currently the Champions League top scorer, best assist maker, and likely will be named the best player of the Champions League at the end of the season. Just like Lamin and Ousmane Dembele, Raphinha is showing everyone why he deserves Ballon d'Or by performing well in big matches. He scored hat-trick against Bayern, scored 5 goals and made 2 assists in 4 matches against Real Madrid, and saved Barcelona many times when the team was struggling. The clearest example of this was 2 matches against Benfica and Lisbon. In the first match he scored 2 goals in Barca's incredible comeback, winning the MVP award. And in the second match, when Barcelona was 1 man down, he scored an unexpected goal and put Barcelona ahead. Even in the first leg of the semi-final against Inter, he scored an amazing goal to equalize. And in the second leg he almost scored the winning goal. Raphinha has done everything he could. Now everything depends on the Champions League final and the start of the next season. Guys, as I mentioned before, the chances for the top 3 footballers are almost the same. But surely one of these players will win the award this year. How would you change this top, and most importantly, who do you think will win the Ballon d'Or 2025? Write your thoughts in the comments. This was 90 Football. Take care of yourself.